Oh, a video that starts with voiceover, so you know that it's gonna be good. Now it's time to roll some time-lapse and some slow-mo 60 frames a second goodness. Here we go. So, the other day, me and Laura went up to Scotland. It's actually Laura's birthday weekend, last weekend, and we just thought we don't need really an excuse to go for a road trip, but it's her birthday, so let's just crack on and let's just live a little. So we headed up to the Isle of Skye and we stopped at a few places en route. We stopped at Dumfries. Won't talk about Dumfries because we won't talk about it. And we also headed up to Oban and we stayed in a really cool little hand-built log cabin. And it was just awesome. And this little tree here that you can see in the nice little lake, that was the local loch, and it was called Loch Orr. And it's an amazing place, full of it was just cool, really, really cool. So now, the next time you're going to see me is actually Andy Mag full on in Scotland, just pretty much laughing at our kid here, trying to slap away the midges. So here's Andy M. I'm in awe. No, literally, this is called Loch Orr. You like that one? She liked that one. So when we're working with long exposure and the ND filter, it's a very smart move to manually focus and get that focus set beforehand. Now when you put the ND filter on, you won't be able to see anything, and that's because it filters the light by 10 times. So if I slow the shutter speed to a 30th of a second at f11, I can see quite clearly what I'm doing, and then I know that the shot is going to come out correctly exposed. Another cheat to get around this is downloading the Lee Filters exposure calculator on your phone, and they also give you a little cheat sheet too with the big stopper with the piece of glass. So once I've got my composition lined up, I can get it on 2-second timer, I can hit the shutter, I can let the camera do the work. Oh, it's a voiceover bit again, so I hope you like these pictures. Some long exposures from Loch Orr, but this one's not a long exposure. Oh, look at that, that was a shot at 2.8, that one. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Sacrilege, sacre bleu. Anyway, so now we headed up to Skye. This was the day after, and we found this castle called Eilean Donan Castle. It's hard not to find this if you're driving north to Skye, and I was really shocked about how not off the beaten track this is. Hundreds of millions of tourists, but if you don't pay the entrance fee and just walk around the grounds, you can take some awesome shots. We're on our way to the Isle of Skye because it's Laura's birthday today. So I'm sure you're all going to sing happy birthday. Yeah, you do that in your own time. But on our way to Skye, we've just found, it's kind of hard to miss this castle, which is called Eilean Donan Castle. And my pronunciation is probably awful, but it's so cool. Look at it. Absolutely awesome. Now, if you want to pay the admission fee, you can. It's about 7 or 8 quid. And you can go all the way into the castle. Or you can just have a little stroll around the grounds. Take the picture that you probably would take anyway from outside of it. That's all you need to do. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a couple of pictures and then we're going to crack on. But it looks absolutely amazing. What do you reckon, babe?
I love it. It's so pretty.
Oh, look at that. Nice foreground there with some yellow sort of bushes. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Bit of clarity slide. Anyway, so basically it's really easy to get some good images. I mean, I don't know. It could get really crazily busy in the summer. It probably does. I imagine Skye is hugely busy in the summer. Anyway, so we headed over to Skye, and to get there, one of the main routes onto Skye is the Skye Bridge. I don't know if it's officially called the Skye Bridge, but let's just go with it. And as soon as you get over the bridge and you sort of are blessed with Skye straight away, you really realise how rugged it is and how it's just epic. And just like me in my teenage years, this place is wild. It's just so... It's like nothing you've ever seen. It really is just a case of just going over that bridge, and it just, everything feels different. The mountains feel a little bit more epic, and look at how good that slow-mo looks. Oh yes, 60 frames a second. Look at that. Oh, the mountains in the background. It's just brilliant. What's the next bit? Oh, time lapse going through the mountains. Anyway, so Is a journey to Skye complete? Are you even a landscape vlogger if you go to Skye and don't do the fairy pools? It's exactly the same day as a royal wedding, so I'm thinking maybe that's why it's quite quiet. I don't know. It's sort of...
Still a fair.
There's still a lot of people here, but I thought it would have been absolutely ridiculously packed. But this is the view. This is the path that we're taking. And I've got to be honest, it's pretty cool. I see the attraction. So far at the fairy pools, it's pretty cool. I'll be honest, it's worth the hype, and I know you have to travel to the end of the earth to get here, but it is amazing. And even though there's hardly any water in the pools, there are still numerous photos to be had, and Laura has got better photos than me. She's just discovered a setting on her phone that allows her to do long exposures, and locking it off on a tripod with this mode, and I'll flash a few up that she's done because they look really, really good. And what I'm doing anyway, I've got the big stopper on, and I've got the shot in portrait because there's a really cool pyramid shaped mountain right in my eye line, and for me it has to be portrait. And I've got the big stopper on because I want to try and stretch the clouds. And yeah, there's lots of opportunities even when there's not a lot of water cascading down. This time tomorrow the forecast is horrendous, so come down here tomorrow and it'll be like the Mississippi Delta probably. But this is not a bad place to sit and watch the world go by. So welcome to our Airbnb for the night. Look at this camper, it's literally parked in an old shipbuilding complex, and the people that own it own about, I don't know, 2 or 3 of these campers, and they just rent them out. It's genius. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to edit a photo from today. I can't help but think how much I love the idea of van life. I know nothing about van life. We don't even have the keys to drive this thing. It's just accommodation, but I think I could really get used to this. It's just so cool. That's going to be an expensive hobby / lifestyle, but I think it's going to be quite cool. Anyway, right, so let's edit this photo. Right, wine time? It's wine time. Oh baby, these look cool. Right, so another morning in Skye, and I don't want to sound like a little fanboy of Airbnb, and it certainly isn't an ad, but what a cool place to spend the night. And if it wasn't for Airbnb, we'd probably be staying in some bland hotel somewhere, but instead we got our own little camper van for the night. I can't remember if I showed you in yesterday, but I mean, I don't know if this qualifies as a hashtag van life. No, we're not allowed to do that. Guaranteed 1,000 views if you do that. But this is where we stayed, and it's just so cool. And I think we could both definitely see ourselves in a van one day. But anyway, we had a barbecue, some beer, some wine, Prosecco last night. So all in all, it was a perfect little evening. But now we're going to hit the road. We're going to head up to the north of Skye and see what's going on before we head back down to England. So a monster drive today, but hopefully lots of stops on the way. There's a little change of plan. We started to head to the north of the island, but it's so bleak today. It's just not enjoyable weather. It's great weather for, you know, dirty, grungy photography if you've got the patience and the amount of lens cloths, but as a tourist we just won't enjoy it because it's the horizontal rain. I know that's standard for Skye, Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to head south. We're on our way back to our final place on this little tour. We're going to the Lake District. We're probably going to stop off in Fort William and maybe even Glenative and see if the weather's any better there, and maybe we'll get a couple of stop offs. So today is all about sort of, no, it's not all about you. It's all about stop offs. You shut up and eat your melon. Can you just repeat? I've just made Laura film this because of what she said needs to be committed to camera. So can you just backtrack a minute or two and just say the statement that you said, the question you asked me?
I said, which loch is the Loch Ness Monster in?
Yeah, and then you said, is it
Loch Ness?
No, you didn't say that. You said which. You said which loch is the Loch Ness Monster in? Is it Loch Lomond? You said that, and you know you said it.
But I thought it was.
Since that time, you've realised what you've said and you've changed it. You've changed it. Which loch is the Loch Ness Monster in? Loch Lomond. Where does Chinese food come from? Japan. So after more, well, quite frankly, stupid conversation for about 8 hours, we wanted to try and find a really classically Scottish scene. So we're thinking stags, big antlers, moody weather, should be a shoo-in. No, we couldn't find one single stag in Scotland. In fact, instead we saw more dead on the side of the road. That is not a joke. And also wanted to try and find a picture of the buccal. Now, I think I'm saying that right, but you'll probably know exactly which photo I mean when I show you Tim Day's shot from his calendar. So he's telling me about it, saying how cool it is. And not only did it take me ages to find, because I didn't find it straight away, when I took my photo, there was no water. So I took a phone photo, got really annoyed, and then we carried on to the Lake District. But until then, here's some B-roll in slow-mo of Laura looking annoyed at me, probably because I'm just talking nonsense for a change. So we're another day and we're leaving our Airbnb. This vlog is going to be awful because there's no continuation, no continuity to anything that I've been talking about. But this is the final day of our trip for Laura's birthday, and we are just leaving our Airbnb, which has been arguably one of the best, because it's so nice and remote and it's perfect little cottage. So now the plan is to head to Keswick, fight the crowds. As our mountain guide host said, keep your elbows sharp to get to fight your way through the tourists. We're hopefully going to climb Cat Bells. But a very enjoyable climb. And the great thing about this place is that you're in the heart of the Lake District, so everywhere you look you're rewarded with these amazing epic views. And I mean, I've got the hero image, which is that shot of the lake, Donan water over there, but these three peaks here are really catching my eye, and someone's going to have to tell me what I'm photographing here because I haven't got a clue, but I like them. We haven't got any light, but that doesn't matter. All that matters is we've got a nice moment. Sorry to talk over this music that you would probably find in a spa somewhere, but these images from the end of the trip I'm actually really pleased with, and at the end, I even had a little play with my 85mm 1.4. You've heard me talk about that loads on the channel, but that is one of my favourite lenses. And now I've only just realised that I can do long exposures with the 10 stop, because the thread is the same, and I didn't think it even fitted. I've had that lens about a year and I didn't even realise it worked. Anyway, so that's all from this trip. I'm not going to lie to you, that is it. So thanks very much. I know I did warn you though, it was only a four-day trip, but I didn't vlog half as much as I needed to, and next time I go, because I will go again, it'll be better. Anyway, I'll stop talking. So remember to like, comment and subscribe. This is weird, isn't it? Because you can't see my face. And what else? Tell your friends. Oh, I better change the music. So not spy music, normal outro music. Now,